have we really become that lazy as a society that we believe that it's better to put something in ChatGPT and have it create for us than us create? Someone has taken a human thing, sex, that you need another human for in order to do, and they have outsourced it to a computer, to a screen, to technology. But it's like people have utilized that, and what's happened? It's disconnected men, it's rewired their brains, it's impacted relationships, but over 50% are graduating never being in a relationship. It's never been this high before. Typically, I think it was like 80% or something they said was the average of people that left high school in a relationship. So most people were graduating having had an experience of being in a relationship. Like, your humanness is your superpower. No computer thing outside of you is smarter than you or better than you. What you have to offer from in here, from your heart, a computer doesn't have. Hello, you guys. Welcome to this week's episode of the Expand and Evolve podcast. This week, I wanted to talk about authenticity versus AI. And this is a comment that I ended up writing on a post that I had seen. And I went, holy crap, like, this is something I actually want to speak about because I feel like it's been coming up a lot in conversation in the team, in people I do business with, in like trying to hire human beings to do things, and they're only using AI. And so the humanness is no longer there. And it's like, I'm not paying for you to use AI. I'm paying you to do the human thing that you know how to do. And so I'm noticing this in even like system automation and all of these things. And then also in conversations with friends and how they're using ChatGPT as their therapist, and they're using it and they know everything about them and they put everything in ChatGPT. And I listened to this other podcast that was about, it was a masculinity debate. And it spoke about how so many people are basically moving towards, like, they're going to be bringing out sex robots. And then they also are developing a platform that is like ChatGPT, but meant to be a relationship, basically. So like you can use this app to get your relational needs met. And so with all of this to say, I wanted to just have a conversation about authenticity over AI and why I feel like this is so important in this day and age, because I think, yes, there is value and benefits to automation. Yes, there is value and benefits to some of the things AI has done. Of course, yes. And when you are sharing your voice and you are sharing what you do or what you believe, if you put everything into ChatGPT, it's not you. And so this is where I feel like, especially when it comes to content creation, I know so many people are like, oh, you don't even need to create content. Just use ChatGPT. Oh, you don't even need to write a caption. Just use ChatGPT. Oh, you don't even need to create a course. Just use ChatGPT. And I'm like, okay, sure, you can do that. But it's like, have we really become that lazy as a society that we believe that it's better to put something in ChatGPT and have it create for us than us create? Creation is literally what we are here to do on this planet as human beings, is to use our gifts to go create in this world. If you hand that thing that you are meant to be so good at over to AI to go create its own storyline, its own words, its own execution, like, I feel like we're missing the humanness, and the humanness is what makes it special. I don't know about you, but when I go and get a robot, let's say on the phone, how annoying is that? I want to talk to a freaking actual person representative. I don't want to deal with this robot. I don't care that it's easier. I don't care that it replaces jobs. I don't care that you get access quicker. I want to speak to a human. It's the same thing in business. Because I was thinking about, okay, how people are using ManyChat and all these things. And I'm like, okay, yes, I could technically do that. But when I reply to people's stories, or like I reply to something and I get this bombarding of messages from ManyChat, it's annoying. Like, I don't like it. And so it's like, I don't ever want people to feel like I've become a robot and that their interactions with me are roboticized. I don't even know if that's a word, but it's like, I want people to know that I'm me. And when they're speaking to me, it's me. If I send an email, I want them to know I wrote it. And maybe this is my own, I don't know, maybe I'm holding myself back in a lot of ways by not just going AI and not just using ChatGPT to create email funnels and marketing funnels and do all this stuff. But like, for me, it feels inauthentic to do that. It feels like I'm giving up the very thing that it's like, if I'm going to say something is my voice, I'm going to put my mark on it as my voice, whether it's through an email, whether it is through marketing, whether it's through a caption, whether it's through a write-up, whatever it is. Like if I'm saying that's my voice and it's not my voice, it's a robot, to me, that's like the most inauthentic thing that you could do. And it just doesn't feel good. It feels really, really icky. And so I'm sure there's lots of people who feel fine with it and it doesn't bother them and they feel like it's just shooting out great content, and that's fine. But I think that we're living in a day and age where like it's going to get old really fast. I don't know about you, but I can tell when someone has used ChatGPT for a caption. I can tell when they've used it for a text. And it's like, who are you? And will you even really know? Like if you keep using robots to like create everything for you, will you really know what your authentic truth is, an authentic voice? I don't know. It really makes me start to wonder. And then when you bring in the whole other layer of this, where people are now using ChatGPT as, this is like the one thing that I'm just, obviously it's been coming up a lot. So I'm just going to keep talking about ChatGPT versus all the other things that there are. But I have people who I know are using ChatGPT like their therapist. And like you've seen the memes rolling around, I'm sure. Like there's reels about it, there's memes about it, people are joking about it. But to me, I'm like, this is just showing how deeply disconnected we are. I feel that it seems easier to use some app. I don't even have it. I don't have it downloaded. I've never used it. Okay. But to have some app that we feel more comfortable and confident putting our thoughts into than speaking with another human being. And it's like, if we continue to move in this direction where it's deeper and deeper disconnection, and we're relying on something like AI to tell us and be our therapist and be our confidant, like, are you going to pick up the phone and call your friend? Are you going to sit in the struggle on your own and like feel it? Are you going to navigate it in the way that you would if you didn't have that thing? And I just think something I'm seeing, and I need to make note to link this debate. It was Diary of the CEO. And it was like a bunch of them, Stephen Bartlett, it was on his podcast and they were talking about masculinity. And it was talking about AI in that too, and the impact that it's having on adolescent people. And so I think if you're a millennial or above, it's not hitting us as hard. We still grew up in an age where we had to connect with people. We had friendships. We have friendships. Many of us do, that likely will be lifelong friendships. So we know how to connect with people. But for our kids and for our youth, they are not living the same experience. They are living an AI generated experience. Oh, don't even get me started. Oh, I can go into, oh, good. Yes, I'll talk about how people are using it to edit photos too, because that's another thing. But it's like people are growing up not knowing how to connect with other human beings. And I feel like people are starving for true, authentic connection. And that is also why you're seeing a shift, I feel, in social media, where it was like the perfectly curated pictures, that we've moved away from that. The perfectly curated, like acting like the expert. I feel like we're shifting from that. And now people want to see real, raw, authentic, true videos. They want to see you just talking. They want to see storylines. They want to see diary, kind of like more like a diary entry. So if you're seeing what people are moving towards, it's like carousels on social media where they're telling a story. They're posting day in the life. They're posting things that are real. People want to see real humans. Yet we're also living in the complete polar opposite of people utilizing AI to create all of this stuff that's not truly authentically created by them. And so anyways, when it comes back to the connection point, I feel like this is so important because people are starving for true connection. And I see this in the business that I'm in. Like I'm connecting with women all the time. And so many women come in and end up feeling like, wow, I've never like bared my soul like this, or told the truth like this, or said what I really want, or shared my desires with anyone, or shared my dreams with anyone. Like so many people come in and they've not talked about that to anybody. And then you have people navigating really hard stuff. Like if people are navigating, I don't know, they could be navigating an affair, navigating wanting to get a divorce, navigating an addiction, navigating body dysmorphia issues. I don't know, name the thing. Like they could be navigating an eating disorder. They could be navigating troubled children, like whatever the thing is, hard stuff, feeling depressed, feeling anxious, all of these things that humans are struggling with, right? And they're now, instead of leaning on a friend, they're leaning on AI. Like that's the thing that's getting them through. I don't know about you, but I feel it's the same thing as take pornography. Okay. So pornography is a technological thing that people watch that's filling a need. Okay. Where people end up addicted to this. Yes. And it creates massive issues. Yes. And it creates massive issues in relationships. Yes. Does it tear a relationship apart? Yes. Why? Because someone has taken a human thing, sex, that you need another human for in order to do, and they have outsourced it to a computer, to a screen, to technology. And so now, and who knows, there's probably so much porn out there that's fully AI. It's not even real people anymore. But it's like people have utilized that. And what's happened? It's disconnected men. It's rewired their brains. It's impacted relationships. If you go deep into what has happened to these young boys, you guys, it's horrible. Like there's so many young kids that have been exposed to pornography at 10 or 12 years old. By the time they're 16, first of all, they don't find real women attractive because of everything that's so fake in pornography. Like go down the deep dive into this, and it's honestly catastrophic when it really comes down to it. And what they're finding now is so many boys are graduating high school. They're not dating anyone. They've never been in a relationship. Why? Not only social media, yes, because people don't know how to actually talk to human beings anymore and how to approach people, but they're getting their need met of sex through pornography. So they don't need a real human to get that need met. Back in the day, they didn't have this. I'm sure, yes, okay, they probably, went to brothels and did whatever, but it's like that was still a human being that they had to go get that need met with. So it still took them taking an action. Now they have access right here all the time. So you feel that need where you would typically need a human being for it. You don't need a human anymore. You can just go do this right on your phone. Now your sexual needs met, but now you're living in deep shame, guilt. It like messes with you. It F's with your frequency. It's just bad. Okay. And I remember being in high school. I don't know how it all ties in. But I remember being in high school and people thinking like, and I would question myself. I would be like, am I a prude? Like, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel like there's something wrong with this? Why do I feel like there's something dark with this? Like something feels off. And people would be like, oh, who cares? Like, I'm the cool girl because like I watch it with my boyfriend and like I'm fine. And like, why do you care if that watch porn? No, right? And I would always feel this deep conviction within that something was off, something was wrong. And so I went on a deep dive in research about pornography at like 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, which is over a decade ago now. And I was like, no, I know that this is bad. And I remember always feeling like when I have boys, I'm going to raise them to understand that this literally rewires their brain chemistry and it is horrible for them. Not only does it make women feel like they're being cheated on, it gives them, and some women may not feel this way. That's fine. I just know for me, when it was happening within my marriage and in previous relationships, it made me feel not good enough. It made me feel like, why would he not want to like connect with me? I'm right here. Why would he rather use that thing? And it broke and severed our connection, which when that starts happening, of course, it's going to negatively impact your relationship, which it did. And truthfully, like many of the guys in my life, like they all struggled with some level of sex or pornography addiction at some level because of pornography. And so the reason I'm saying this is because that is something that was outsourced to technology, right? Beyond human. Now you're using AI to, again, take out, maybe it's like authentically writing. Okay. That's like a pretty surface level content creation. You're using AI instead of it really being you. Okay. But now you've outsourced your voice. Your voice is a power source. How am I connecting with you right now? My voice, my opinions, the things that I truly deeply believe, which are authentic to me. If I didn't have that, how am I connecting with you? What am I going to use AI to like write something up and then send it an email? That's not human. And I feel like we're getting to this place where we want to connect with actual human beings. And so I bring that up because it's like, okay, now let's say I'm using AI. I've outsourced my voice, the very thing that is one of the most authentic like uses of expression any human being can have. Then you take it to relationship, okay? The reason I'm bringing this up and how it ties to the pornography thing. Okay, so if human beings no longer need a partner for sexual needs, which is like sex, food, and money you need all of them as a human being, okay? To survive in the world as it is right now. So now you don't need sex, you don't need a human being for sex because you have pornography and soon sex robots. Okay, great. So then now you're replacing human connection, the thing that we used to lean on each other for. So like I'm struggling, I'm feeling it, and maybe I journal and read and I sit on my own, but then I need a friend. Like I need to voice it out. I need to talk to a friend. I need someone to feel like I can lean on. I need that human connection, right? People are now using ChatGPT as the friend. People are asking ChatGPT the things that we used to connect to our friends for. And so I'm like, you may see like it's not a big deal, but when you see how detrimental this could be to overall human connection and relationship in the long term, it is detrimental. And so the reason that I feel like this is happening is because they need everyone downloading ChatGPT because it shows that you are willing to I wish I drank coffee because like I'm telling you, when I drink coffee, my brain fires so much faster. My verbiage is better. My language is better. It's like, I'm like a human processing, like think of a computer. And when you have coffee, it's like the engine's running and I haven't had coffee today. And I'm like thinking of words is harder. Anyways, what the hell was I saying? Relationship, AI. Oh man, the computer thing. Anyways, doesn't matter. I feel like they're trying to see what is the adoption rate, basically, right? So it's like, how many people are downloading ChatGPT? Okay, they're going to sense and gauge who's using it, who's not using it. First of all, they're also gathering all the data from the things that you're inputting in it, which I feel like is a super intelligence that they're going to use to now create things that feed the need of the thing that they're creating, right? And I feel like you could go way conspiracy theory where you feel like AI is bad and it's horrible and they're going to overtake the planet and whatever. I think there's some value to it. Like I like to see, let's say, when people freak out and it's like, it's taking jobs. I always like to see it as, okay, you know what? Like if it replaces jobs like groceries, for example. Okay, maybe it's not bad because those people now don't need to do that job. And so they can go do something that's more aligned with like the creation that and the impact they're meant to make on this planet. Okay, so I like to have like positive, different thoughts when it comes to things like that. But even that, truly, like, it's one less interaction with a human. Because think about it. Like if you now are ordering your groceries online or you go through this like self-checkout and you don't have to see and talk to a human, like to me, I just go, okay, I see how detrimental this could be long term. Because for the average human being, if they're at home, especially if you're in the Western world, so many of our elders, unless they're in group things, like they would go to the grocery store, that might be their only human interaction for the day. If there's no humans there, there's no one for them to connect with, which is going to impact, like you can die from loneliness. And so just to bring it back to like this human connection piece matters. And so even though people may feel like they're using ChatGPT and it's taking care of a need, you could say, at the end of the day, it's trying to replace something that is irreplaceable. You cannot replace human connection and interaction, no matter how much we try. You can't connect. Like I look like a robot right now. I hope it doesn't save like this. I hope it's just lagging and it's all going to be fine. But I'm literally looking like a robot. I bring this up because when it comes back to the adoption rate, right, of people, I guarantee you they're trying to see like who's going to adopt it, who isn't, and who's using it, who isn't. And it's just really, truly like the biggest point I want to make is that when you start to remove these human elements and people feel that they have that need replaced outside of a human, it creates this deeper gap and separation from people. And loneliness literally is a cause of death. So just bringing it back to that like if you've been using ChatGPT as your therapist, is it helpful here and there when you have a question you want to talk to them? Sure, I get that. But to be really mindful that it's not replacing the human beings that you would typically call for that stuff. And I think if anything, it shows the loneliness epidemic that people are living with right now and the void of connection so many people feel. Because the average person, I'm sure, doesn't have a big group of friends and doesn't have a big group of people that they can lean on, or maybe doesn't have a friend that they feel like they can go to with this stuff, which is sad. Like humans need humans. And because of these things, like more and more, we're using these as connection. We're saying connected, but we're the most disconnected we've ever been from each other. And so bringing it back to the fact that like, if you're using ChatGPT as your therapist, I'm like, to me, that's sad. I would rather my friend call me and talk to me about whatever they're going through than using some AI app to move through whatever they're going through. And same thing when it comes to that podcast that I brought up earlier. They were talking about how like they're bringing in these AI sex robots, okay? Because there's so many men who are feeling like they can't approach women. Women are not being approachable. Like it's both sides. And so more and more men are graduating high school now. Women, men, I don't know if it's the same, but this was a masculinity debate. So they spoke more about men. But over 50% are graduating, never being in a relationship. It's never been this high before. Typically, I think it was like 80% or something they said was the average of people that left high school in a relationship. So most people were graduating like having had an experience of being in a relationship. Now over half are not. That's crazy, you guys. I don't know if you remember high school, but like everyone had a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever. Like people dated each other, you know? And now I'm like, they're going to school. And this is what's also nuts. I was with a group of teens the other day. I saw them all sitting at a table. None of them were talking, you guys. They were all on their phones. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen. I was at my table with all the kids, and all the kids are talking and interacting and like together. And then the older kids, all of them were on their phones, sitting miserable like this. And I was just like, holy. Like I could only imagine what it looks like in the high schools, because you think that there's something for your life in here. Like you're missing something. You're not. Like I've been really going through it with my phone lately, you guys. Whoa, why does it want to like, whoa, weird emotion. Okay. Sitting with authenticity is like, where did that come from? Probably, I don't think it's sadness for me. I think it's like sadness for people. But like, what the heck? Why am I crying? This is so weird. Anyways, I think it comes from like a deep sadness, because it's like when you really tap in and feel as a human being, you can feel how deeply disconnected we are. And watching these kids, I think, oh, this is where it's coming from. Okay. I can't talk about it. Then I'm going to cry like crazy. Okay. It's coming from the place of bull with our little kids, right? And I think it was, I don't even know. I didn't feel any emotion in the moment, but I'm like, holy. This is where emotions are meant to move. Like I can feel it. It's moving from here and it needs to just come out and come through and then it'll go away, right? That's what an emotion is. Usually won't last for more than 90 seconds. I could fully act out sadness right now, but I'm not going to do that. Okay. Okay. I think it's coming from the place of me with my little kids, and it like hurts my heart to see like our kids are not going to be little. They're going to be 10 and 12 and 14 and 16, and they're going to be entering this stat and this data of what is happening with our youth. And it's going to happen quicker than I could ever imagine. Oh, okay. And so I think I feel this like really deep sadness for them, but then it's like parents also don't know what to do. And I've been feeling this way with my phone lately. What the frick? Where are these emotions coming from? I did feel really sad yesterday, and I didn't really cry, but I like felt off. And so maybe it's like residual. I don't know why. I just am I could pause it and then keep going once I articulate my thoughts. But instead, I'm just moving through this podcast as I move through this. Anyways, okay. The kids are going to get older. They're going to end up one of those stats. Yes. I've been feeling this way with my phone lately. Also, where I've been going through this, like I used to share a lot of my life on my stories and like feel like I needed to keep people updated and create and like make content and all this stuff. And I've been in this weird, like I could throw my phone away. Like I don't care about it. Like there's nothing actually on here that matters. Like if I go on social, I don't give a shit about anything on there. I don't care to see what anyone else is doing. So no offense if you're any of my friends or family or people and I follow you, I never scroll my homepage ever. If anything, I go on strictly for inspo in terms of like, I don't know, like I'll go through and I love to see like quotes or things that expand my mind. I don't really use it to keep up with anyone or anything. And so the only time I'll end up watching stories too is if I'm like mindlessly just like tapping through. And so I've been realizing more than ever that I want to be way more intentional with my phone use. And almost in this weird place. And obviously because everything I do is there. Like I want to put out content. I want to put out podcasts. I want to put out reels. I want to put out stuff. I want to engage with you guys. I want that human piece because I actually really love connecting with you guys through DMs or messages or comments or whatever. I love that piece. And it's like creating stricter phone use time because I don't want to live my life distracted. And I find if a notification comes up, even if I just see my phone and I glance at it, it just took my presence. It just took my attention. And I don't want to live like that. And so I'm in this interesting phase where I'm not really posting on stories as much, but then I feel a pull, but I feel like I'm the most detached I've ever been from my phone and from what I need to do on it. Does this make sense? And so as I navigate this, I will 1000% talk about it when I have a complete thought. But right now I don't because it's really fresh and I'm moving through it right now. And I'm just in this place of like, I just don't care. I don't care. I think I'm going to start doing days where like, I don't even touch it. I don't even use it. I'm just like, it's so dumb. And like so many of us are living like we think in these teens. And what I saw was like, your friends were right in front of you. The people that you should be connecting with are right in front of you. But they were thinking that they had people that they needed to connect with through here. And I think especially as my kids get older, I'm like, there's only so much time I have with them where they see me as like the best thing ever. And so I'm like, I want to be way more intentional that I'm in that and not constantly being pulled by what's happening on here. Does that make sense? And so it's like, I love when I get time to like go through, create content, reply to stuff, get through my messages. Like, I love that. Do I love like writing down my ideas? I love all of it. I love that what this can do. And I'm in a place where it's like, I need to start leaving it behind if I want to be fully present, because the second that I have a minute where the kids are busy or they're doing something, I'll check my phone to get through messages. That's how I function and work my whole business, is like in the truly the nooks and crannies, like when I have a moment. And so I'm just feeling this deeper and deeper separation, I guess you could say, or like disconnection, where I feel like I'm being pulled to like deep presence. I don't know how to explain it. I don't think I've ever felt this before, where I truly don't care about what anyone else is doing or saying at all. And the only time I'm even looking is out of true 100% nothing left to do boredom. Does this make sense? I know this went on a little tangent, but at the same time, I'm like, AI and technology, it's all intertwined. And I think it's like, imagine how beautiful a world if like, yeah, we use our phones, but like, we don't need to be glued to them. And if you are glued to them watching everyone else's life, like, I'm grateful you're here and I'm grateful you're listening to this podcast and I'm grateful if you follow me and like all of that. But at the same time, I'm like, don't get caught up watching someone else's life that you forget to be in your own. Like, I think for so many of us, we're so caught up with what other people are doing. We're not in our own life. And the only life that matters is yours. Like, what are you doing with your time? How are you spending it? And I know what that feels like when you get sucked in, and they're meant to do that. The apps are meant to suck you in. But it's like, I hate the way it feels to my brain when I get in the loop of social and I'm like stuck in it and I'm scrolling mindlessly and then I'm like trying to get out, but I'm addicted to this. Like, I literally can't pull myself out because I'm like interested in what the next video will be, or like maybe that will give me the info that I was looking for, but I didn't know I was looking for. I'm like, I end up getting off my phone. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I've been doing this in the mornings where, I'm not kidding, I will wake up and the way I get my body awake is scrolling my phone, like catching up on messages, seeing if I have any messages, tapping through stories when I'm like not even paying attention, to like wake my brain up. Is this healthy? No, but this is the truth of like what I have been doing. And so I'm in this place of like, shit, I really need to stop that. And I had awareness of it like 3 days ago where I was like, whoa, you keep doing this. Like, we need to stop that. Why am I talking about this? I don't know. You know, when like something random comes out of my mouth, I always get a message from one of you after where you're like, that was for me. So clearly someone needed to hear this, but it's like breaking that habit, because I'm like, that time in the morning is sacred. Like, to have that time in the morning where it's you and with you and it's quiet. It's like, we shouldn't be looking at what other people are doing in their lives before anything else. And I used to always say this, and I still do, but I find it doesn't mess with me because I'm not taking in other people's creation as much in the morning. It's like, create before you consume. So anytime you're wanting to lean into creation, especially with this AI conversation, like if you want to take back your power of like creating authentically based on you, create before you ever get on social and consume. So something I like to do is create in my notes, create my ideas in my notes, create my ideas somewhere else, write them down before I ever piece them together on social media. And I write my captions in my notes. I do everything in my notes to keep it all separate so that I'm not getting on social media and getting like sucked into this, like mind sucking place where it's like it takes all your brain power and creativity away and it makes us a freaking space cadet. Like if we're on our phone checking notifications and then we're trying to like, we're like, wait, what was I doing? And like, where was I going? And where did I put my phone down? And what did I do? It's like, it makes us space cadets. And so just understanding that and like giving yourself good boundaries, I feel like is really important. But to finalize the thoughts around AI and all the things, I just feel ChatGPT is now replacing people's like friends, therapists, whatever, right? People are utilizing it to create for them rather than create themselves. And I understand using it as a tool to support you in your creation, but just be mindful not to give all of your power away to an app, okay? Make sure it's you. Your voice is the most powerful thing that you have. Utilize your voice. Be authentic. Be you. And use that because I think it's special. Like your voice is unique and it's special and people need to hear from you. People want to feel like they're connecting to you. So don't feel you need to jump on this ChatGPT train. Like you can continue just being you. Yeah, it might take a little bit longer, but like who are we without our brains, you guys? We're already goldfish from the attention span of notifications, okay? But then on top of it, it's like if you are utilizing these things to do everything for you, you don't need to write a paper anymore. You don't need to do anything. You just use AI. You're losing those skills that make your brain work. And if you don't know how to think, this can go real deep. If they take away your ability to think because now you outsource all your thoughts, you don't trust yourself, you don't trust yourself to create anything, you don't trust your own mind, and now you outsource everything to AI, how well and critical thinking do you think you're like, how much critical thinking skills do you think you're going to have? What do you think your ability is going to be like to question? You're going to give up the trust that you have in yourself to technology outside of you. And like, you want to go a little like loopier, they talk about this already, that they have plans to bring in like microchips and these things. And, you know, it's going to be, because we're going to be brain dead. Most of us are going to be functioning freaking brain dead, not being able to think for ourselves because of everything that we're using to take away that power. And then they're going to offer you something to like make your brain work great again or like help you function like AI within. That's probably how they're going to watch. That's probably how they're going to spin this is like, you've all been using AI anyways. How great would it be to have it in your brain and help you be like supercomputer with how you function? And watch, there's going to be people who they're like, this is amazing. I would love to. And then they're going to microchip themselves. I guarantee it. They're going to sell it in some way like that. Just watch. And the reason I say this is because it's like, it's all built on each other. And so just be mindful of that. Like your humanness is your superpower. You being a human and your abilities as a human is your superpower. Don't forget that. And don't forget the connection you have to yourself. No computer thing outside of you is smarter than you or better than you. What you have to offer from in here, from your heart, a computer doesn't have. A computer is not functioning with heart. A computer is not functioning with feeling. No, that can only come from a human being. That is what you have in you. That is powerful. And the last piece of AI I wanted to talk about is computer generated people and beauty. Because there are men right now getting rich, like dirty rich, off of fake women, AI generated women that they have created with fit bodies on Instagram. They've created millions of followers. They look like a real account, you guys. They are not real women. They're completely AI generated. They create products that they sell and they make millions of dollars off of us consuming fake people. It's not a person. It's completely CGI, completely fake. And people are getting rich doing that. So again, just to be mindful that it's like all of the AI stuff, the filters, it started with filters, you guys. All of us using Snapchat and filters. Then what happened? Everyone wanted to start looking like a filter. what do you look like when you go get surgery to look like a filter? You look like an AI robot. And so it's like all of this stuff is happening to make us more comfortable, I think, with what's coming. And not only for the beauty and like for what women are now feeling like they need to look like, but just as a reminder that so much of what you see on social, people are editing their photos, you guys. People are editing their videos now. You can edit your video to make it look like you have some big butt and you don't. So it's like, don't compare yourself to anything that you're seeing on social, because honestly, at this point, it's hard to know what's real and what's not. And if it looks like perfection, a lot of the time it's completely fake. So don't compare yourself to that. The stuff that they're doing, it's honestly crazy. So it's like, be really mindful of that. And then to bring it back to using ChatGPT as a therapist, you guys, if you listen to this podcast that I was talking about, of course it's 222-1222. It's so wild. It always happens. Anyways, I'm on my 222 journey right now. Okay. I've went through a 333 season when I was going through separation and like California and all the stuff. Like I was seeing 333 everywhere. That was my journey. And then now this new season that I'm in and this chapter of my life is the 222. And it's just reaffirming every time it happens. Anyway, what I was going to say in the podcast, they talk about this. So they are going to be launching, basically it's like an app. And so like Sex Robot is going to take care of the sexual needs of all these people who don't know how to find true companionship, right? Which great that they're trying to create a source for people who are not getting that companionship, sure. But like people need people, right? And so even though it's going to take the sex scene, it doesn't give you the relationship piece. So they're going to have this technology that people can use that is like a ChatGPT, like a therapist, but it's going to give them the feeling of a relationship with this AI like module. And it's just, I understand like mind wise, it may fill that need, but heart wise, it will not. It will not. It cannot fill what we need in our hearts with like true love. So mind need might be fulfilled, but heart need will not. And so to me, it's so scary because I'm like, I obviously am aware and my kids will be aware and my family unit will be aware, right? But for all these people who are unaware, I'm like, it scares me for them because they're going to adopt all of this stuff so easily. And I'm like, it's harmful. Like at the root, it is harmful. And there's not a part of me that doesn't believe it doesn't come from like a kind of sinister, evil background in a lot of the things that are happening at a bigger level and a bigger picture, because it's like, they talk about this, like where it's like, they truly believe we're all just dumb. We're all just dumb and they use us to profit off of. And it's like, for me, I'm like, no, human beings have heart. That is something that cannot be duplicated or replaced. And the energetic exchange we share as human beings and being proximity of one another, like that's a power source that can't be duplicated by AI. So just to leave this to say, like, don't give up your life to ChatGPT. Don't think that AI knows better for you than what you do. Don't think that you need to use it. Like I've yet to use it. And something that I was asked when I was on a panel, a leadership panel, someone said like, what AI technologies is Carly Pinchin using? And I was like, I was dumbfounded by this question, you guys. And my response was probably really rude to whoever asked the question to begin with. But I went, excuse me, what? And I just went, okay, in the business that I'm in, it is based on relationships. It is based on humans. It is based on people. And if I was to go AI, that whole thing, I lose the very principle that makes my entire business go round, which is humans, real humans, connection to humans. And so I couldn't believe that I was getting asked that, but I was like, this is what's crazy is everyone is trying to find this like quick fix, easy solution so that they don't have to do anything. And it's like, what AI can I use to like get me what I want, but I don't want to have to do anything for it. And I'm just like, what if we did work for the things we wanted? What if we did talk to the people we needed to talk to get the things we wanted? What if we did have to still build our businesses without just like hitting something and using AI? I don't know. I just think there's beauty in our creation. I think if you believe in God, God is the creator of all life. He gave us the gift to create. We are creation. And so whoever's creating AI, I guess they're creating, and that's great. But it's like, make sure you don't lose your ability. Even if you do use facets of AI, there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't lose your unique ability to create from your own heart and your unique voice by giving it up to AI. Because it's like, you do have value. Your authentic voice is the most valuable thing that you can give to anyone and anything. And so I just don't want you, especially as content creators, to ever forget that. Like, the thing that people need to hear and reach from you is your voice. The thing that's connected me to other human beings is my voice. And I just can't imagine giving all of that up to AI just to try to reach a ton of people and gain more followers quicker, or like not have to do anything. I'm like, I don't know. I just think there's so much beauty in the doing when it's you and it's your true authentic creation. So use it if you need it in terms to like help you, but don't give up the like your unique abilities in AI, if that makes sense. And just to start paying attention to like what is happening and what's coming and what you choose to adopt. I've yet to download that app. I don't see myself downloading it. Not out of like a privacy thing even. It's just for me, I just don't see the value in it. Obviously we have things like Google that we can still look things up on, but like ChatGPT, I know people are like, oh my God, it's so helpful. ChatGPT, just ChatGPT it. And even I remember like I was at a medicine ceremony and the guy was like, you need to do, he thinks I'm meant to do intimacy coaching and like tantric work and help couples, right? That's what he saw in his journey. And I'm like, honestly, you're probably right. I've always known I'm meant to work with couples in some way because men are so open with me and so are women. And so I'm like, I think I'm meant to like be the mediator in the middle. But anyways, he whipped it up on ChatGPT. And I'm like, I'm sure I could do that. But like, how many people do you think are just profiting off of this like crap that they're throwing ChatGPT? And then you get a bunch of followers and then you sell it to them. And I'm like, I don't know. I just think there's value in the heart behind everything that you do. So yeah, if you're someone who wants to feel good in the sense that like I'm backing you by sticking to utilizing your heart and not just using AI, I want to encourage you, like, don't let that go. And just because everyone else is adopting something doesn't mean you have to also. If something doesn't feel aligned, don't do it. And just remember that your authenticity over AI always, 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 always will win. If you want to pair your authenticity with AI, that's different. But make sure you're still keeping your heart, your authentic truth at the root of anything you do. And then if you want to bring in technology to support you in that, amazing. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's it. I didn't really complete my thought about when I was asked that question on the leadership panel, but really I was just like, wow, I think I was just like, I can't believe that someone would think that you could fully automate what we do, because in network marketing, no automation can ever replace human connection, ever. And that is the core and the most important thing that we do is connect with other humans. So keep human connection at the forefront, keep your authentic voice and your authentic truth at the forefront. And yeah, thank you for being here. Thanks for listening. I hadn't had coffee yet, and so hopefully this all made sense. But I just wanted to go on a little authenticity over AI rant, and I will be sure to link that podcast that I listened to on the masculinity debate below in case you guys want to listen to it too. But some of the stats that they shared were pretty astonishing. Is it astonishing? Astounding? I don't know. One of those words where it's really scary to think about if parents aren't aware and aren't strong leaders in the family to help guide our kids through this era, that's why they're depressed. That's why they're anxious. That's why they don't have true connection. And that's why they're lonely. And it's like so detrimental to their well-being. And that scares me for all the kids who are feeling that and witnessing it this weekend too, where kids just they're not connecting. They're on phones. I'm like, this is no, we need to set better boundaries to help curate that deep connection. And yes, you can use technology, but like make sure humans have humans, because we can't survive without it. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. I appreciate you guys being here so much. But if you subscribe, if you like it, if you comment, that helps so much in just bringing more awareness to the show. So thanks again for being here. I will see you in the next episode. Keep sharing your authentic truth. It is the most valuable thing you have to offer. And I will see you in the next one.